Hello fans, welcome to Man UD Transfer HQ. Stay updated with the latest transfer gossip and breaking news.
Our first news is Ryan Giggs rips into Man United bosses for poor decision after poor decision. Manchester United legend Ryan Giggs has urged Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos to back Ruben Amorim as the former Sporting Lisbon boss bids to transform the club's fortunes. Ryan Giggs has torn into Manchester United's power brokers for overseeing a decade of decline at Old Trafford. Giggs, 51, is synonymous with the club's golden era under Sir Alex Ferguson, who was responsible for winning 13 league titles during his time at the helm. But United have fallen on lean times since his departure and have not won the Premier League since the legendary Scot stepped down in 2013. Giggs, now co-owner and director of football at Salford City, has watched from afar as United have struggled to reclaim their perch at the top of English football. He has called out United's board for their past mistakes and urged them to now stick with new head coach Ruben Amorim, who has endured a challenging start to his tenure after succeeding Erik ten Hag back in November. Like any business, recruitment needs to be right and hasn't been for the last 10 years. We've just made poor decision after poor decision, Giggs said during a Q&A with Nobby Styles' son, John, at an evening with Ryan Giggs earlier this week. Now it's whether Ruben gets the players he needs, the support he needs, the time. While Amorim has big wins against Liverpool and Manchester City to his name since leaving Sporting Lisbon, United have struggled for consistency under their new head coach. They are currently 13th in the Premier League and already huge underdogs to guarantee European football next season, while there have been question marks over some of their recent big buys in the transfer market. But Giggs has already seen enough to convince him that Amorim, who was linked with a slew of top European jobs before agreeing to join United, has what it takes to turn the Red Devils back into champions. The Welshman added, "We're in a bad place at the moment, but, first of all, I have to say I actually really like the manager. Given a chance and given time, Amorim will bring success back. If we get the right players in and the manager gets time, we will be okay. But at the moment, we are miles off it. We're nowhere near. A long, long way behind. But it can soon turn around." Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are now calling the shots at Old Trafford, with the Glazer family taking a back seat. The new regime have not been a resounding success during their first year at the helm, though, and Giggs wants them to give Amorim the time and support that will be needed to end the club's current malaise. He added, "We've tried giving managers a little bit of time, but now he needs a bit longer, 3 or 4 transfer windows, I think. It's whether he gets the players he needs, the support he needs, the time." Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our second news is Kobbie Mainoo confused by Ruben Amorim tactics as Man United boss blamed for struggles. Kobbie Mainoo has endured a difficult time under Ruben Amorim's management, with the England star putting in another disappointing showing as Manchester United beat Leicester in the FA Cup. Ruben Amorim has been warned that Kobbie Mainoo is confused by his tactics at Manchester United. Mainoo broke into the United team last season, establishing himself as one of their best central midfielders. But under Amorim's management, Mainoo has been pushed further forward, recently operating as a center forward in the defeat to Crystal Palace. While Rasmus Højlund replaced him in that role for the FA Cup win over Leicester, Mainoo was still selected in a more advanced number 10 position. But it was another disappointing evening for the 19-year-old, who failed to have a shot or create a chance and had just 4 touches inside the Foxes' box. That latest underwhelming showing has seen former Chelsea star Tony Cascarino raise concerns about Amorim's management of the youngster. He believes that the United boss is giving his young charge too much to think about. "When Mainoo, first came into the Man United team, I thought he really did it at a breeze," he told TalkSport. "It was quite comfortable for him. He felt confident on the ball. He knew what he was wanting to try and achieve. Gets him in the England squad. Does really well in the Euros. Plays well. Doesn't look out of place. Really high standard. I'm watching Kobbie Mainoo last night, and it's not on him. I'm putting this on the manager and the coaching team around him. I think he looks a confused footballer now, because Kobbie is going backward too often. I think he feels he's afraid to lose the ball, and that's what can happen when you get into a really technical setup, which is what Amorim is trying to achieve. I'm watching Kobbie Mainoo, and I think he doesn't really know what he's meant to do now. I feel sorry for him because he's 19, and he's learning on the job. When he first broke in, everything about his game was spot on. He's gone from a central midfielder to an attacking midfielder to a center forward. He's the future of Manchester United. He's in a position that isn't natural for him. Questions about Amorim's use of Mainoo were raised after the defeat to Palace last week, but the United boss insisted that he had faith that the England star could be a success in his more advanced role. Today, we choose to play with Kabi, Mainoo, to use the characteristics of Kabi. It's not nothing against Rasmus or Josh. And, sometimes, the team scores goals by creating situations to use the right characteristics, Amorim said after last week's loss. It doesn't mean if you play with two strikers you are going to score more goals. So I think it's a problem for the team, and we have spoken about that all the time. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more update. Our third news is Man United news. Ruben Amorim makes instant decision as Patrick Dorgu assessment given. Harry Maguire's late winner helped Manchester United beat Leicester City in the FA Cup on Friday, and Ruben Amorim's side will now enjoy a few days off before their next game. Manchester United are still alive in two cup competitions this season, overcoming Leicester City on Friday to move into the fourth round of the FA Euro, but they still have work to do this term. Harry Maguire's late header made the difference, with United coming from behind to book their place in the fifth round. They are also already through to the Europa League round of 16, where they will take on one of Ajax, Galatasaray, Real Sociedad, or Midtjylland. The Friday night game brought a debut for Patrick Dorgu, who played 45 minutes after joining from Lecce shortly before transfer deadline day. Fellow new arrival Aiden Heaven was named among the substitutes, but didn't make it onto the pitch. The reaction to Dorgu's debut is among the talking points as United enjoy a break before their Premier League trip to Tottenham on February 16th. Here are Mirror Football's latest lines from around Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim didn't let his Manchester United players rest after their win over Leicester, putting them through their paces with some post-match training. While a post-match warm-down is a common sight, this was a little bit more intense. Working for the badge, a social media post from the club read. Some of the United squad completed a full training session at Old Trafford following the full-time whistle on Friday. Rasmus Højlund and Toby Collier were spotted among the group putting in the extra yards. While young midfielder Collier was an unused substitute against the Foxes, Højlund had played the full 90 minutes. Former Manchester United stars Roy Keane and Paul Scholes were confused by Amorim's decision to play debutant Dorgu as a right wing-back, rather than on the left. Inverted wing-backs, you saw it at Old Trafford first, Scholes wrote on Instagram, while Keane's verdict came from the ITV studio during the broadcaster's coverage of the tie. There is a lack of belief, lack of confidence, the Irishman said. They've brought new players in. You're thinking he's Dorgu, going to play in his position, and he's playing right wing back. You think, is that unfair on players? And you look at the urgency for Leicester's goal. It's given away cheaply, people not staying with their runners. I just look at it from United's point of view and think, my goodness, is this what it's come to? There is a lack of belief, lack of confidence, the Irishman said. They've brought new players in. You're thinking he's Dorgu, going to play in his position, and he's playing right wing back. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Man United Transfer HQ. Our last news is £34 million player now signs new contract after telling his club he wanted to join Manchester United. Ruben Amorim welcomed Patrick Dorgu and Aiden Heaven to Old Trafford from Lecce and Arsenal respectively, both of whom should help to bolster the defense at Manchester United. However, before the Red Devils signed Dorgu, they were in the market for another wing-back in the shape of Nuno Mendes. The Portugal international looked likely to leave PSG at the start of the new year amid a contract dispute. TBR Football understand Mendes even told PSG he wanted to join Manchester United as negotiations over a new deal stalled. Now, however, it looks like the PSG number 25 and his agent Jorge Mendes may well have used Manchester United to secure a new contract. The French Giants have now announced that the Central-born defender has signed a new contract running until 2029. Mendes, who joined PSG in a £34 million move from Sporting CP back in May 2022, said, I am very proud to be extending my contract with Paris Saint-Germain. It's a club where I felt good since I arrived. I'm very happy to be continuing with the club. PSG is special. It's like a family to me, and my teammates feel the same. As I said, I was very well welcomed when I arrived. I was 18. It was different from what I'd experienced before. It was a new country too. I'm very grateful for everything. Therefore, it seems Mendes was either bluffing when he told PSG he wanted to join Manchester United, or his declaration simply forced the Parisians into meeting his demands. PSG is special. It's like a family to me, and my teammates feel the same. As I said, I was very well welcomed when I arrived. I was 18. It was different from what I'd experienced before. It was a new country too. I'm very grateful for everything. Strangely, Amorim deployed Dorgu on the right when handing the Dane a debut in the 2-1 FA Cup win over Leicester on Friday night. Diogo Dalot started on the left, despite many presuming Dorgu would take over on that flank, allowing the Manchester United number 20 to return to his natural position on the right. However, Amorim may well view the Denmark international as a right-sided player based on where he was deployed on his debut, opening the door for a left-back to potentially arrive at Old Trafford this summer. Manchester United have, largely, been uninspiring under Amorim, and when the big moments have come, they've often been via, somewhat underserved, late winners against the likes of Manchester City, Rangers, and Leicester City. Isn't having the desired impact at United in terms of results on the pitch, but he is desperately trying to enact change behind the scenes. Indeed, Amorim has changed United's system as he implements his 3-4-3 style, and according to Rasmus Højlund, speaking to Sky Sports, the manager has also made another minor change in training. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news.